Alrighty, we are live. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite movie for episode 3 of the show. Today we have a very special guest for me personally. He was a huge inspiration for starting my YouTube channel. Garrett, aka LegoLover117. How you doing, man?
Hey, it's me. Hello. I'm outside of my channel. Hi, everybody. I'm doing quite well, Mike. I'm doing quite well.
Good to
How
hear.
about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited to hop on here and talk about your favorite movie. Get it? Because
Yep,
it's
yeah.
the title. Yeah.
I would hope that's what we're doing, considering that this is the title of the show. It'd be weird if you asked me. So, like, what's your favorite book? Like,
Yeah.
I'll
Yep.
tell you, but
Yeah. We already got one viewer in here. Bring your own popcorn. Hey guys, won't be able to stay long, but just got the notification and thought I'd hop in for a bit. Thank you, man. Glad to see you hop in the chat, and thank you for turning on notifications.
yes, absolutely.
There goes my ring light.
Definitely gotta turn on those notifications because YouTube hates telling anybody when anybody uploads anymore.
Yep. Not great. I need to find like a mount for my ring light or something on my table here because this is not fun.
Anyways. Dude, I've got one on a tripod that is like being precariously propped up right now next to me.
Oh, see, my problem is with this
falls,
one. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I said if it falls during the stream, it's gonna be very hilarious, but not fun for me.
Yeah, mine's on a tripod, but the problem is it's like, I mean, it's a flimsy tripod, and also because it's a very short cord, so my my surge protector is down on the ground right now, and it can't even reach the ground. So that's, you know.
It sounds like my surge protector at work.
Oh,
it's being held up by one of the monitor cables that's plugged into it, and I just don't touch it.
Oh man,
it scares me.
Yeah. Anyways, why don't we say?
I love the LEDs on that bookshelf, by the way. I totally forgot to mention that, but those are really nice.
Thank you so much.
I've never had the confidence to make the jump into LEDs because I feel like I'll like it for a while and then I'll immediately want to go back to how it was before. But at some point, I'd like to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's worth it. I think it's a nice backdrop, and plus get like some blackout curtains, and then you got a decent, movie room or studio for recording shit. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and dive in. What is your favorite movie, Garrett?
Well, you see, I had to go through a large list of all the films I currently own. Too many, to be honest with you. Too many. But I think I narrowed it down. My favorite movie that we're going to be covering today is The Punisher from 1989. No, wait, this isn't the right one. Hold on. My favorite movie that we're going to be covering today is Batman and Robin. Shit, no, this isn't the right one. Okay. My favorite movie that we're going to be covering is Terminator Dark Fate. Who gave me these? I didn't put these out, okay?
I actually like Terminator Dark Fate, but okay.
All right, I'm leaving the stream now, but okay. For real this time. This favorite movie, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. God damn it! Who gave me these?
For real this time. The Punisher 2004.
I promise this is for real this time. Okay, my favorite movie is Marvel's The Avengers. And that's
I'm surprised.
See, he's so surprised. I totally didn't tell him this before the stream started. That's
definitely
it.
Not.
This is the one right here.
Nice.
Shout out to my brain 2 days ago for coming up with that hilarious joke.
Great one. Yep.
Very funny. Very funny. I'm a funny guy.
Yes.
No one ever tells me that.
All right, we got Jay Game Guy here in the chat.
Hey, Jay, what's going on, my man?
New face to my channel. Is he one of your viewers?
Mm-hmm. He's a regular over on the live shows.
Sweet. I have never seen him in the chats before, so that is interesting.
Which Mike is slowly becoming a regular.
Slowly, slowly, yeah.
Slowly.
Every now and then, unless I'm on a date with my girlfriend, but whatever.
Hey,
Great choice. Definitely in my top 10.
relationships take priority, man. Trust me.
Yes.
So, this is my pick. Yay.
The Avengers.
I'm sure a lot of people thought that I was going to say Star Wars, and to be honest with you, I thought about doing Star Wars, but because that film's really important to me, and it kind of defines my personality. I'm looking at, I can't even count the number of Star Wars action figures I'm looking at right now that are behind the camera, but this is the film that I always tell people is my favorite whenever they ask me, like, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, that's such a difficult question to answer because to me, it depends on the mood that I'm in. Like, am I in the mood for something sad or nihilistic? Like, okay, I'll say The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake. Or am I in the mood for something pulpy or fun? Yeah, like Expendables 2, maybe. Am I in the mood for something comedic and just really, really funny? Talladega Nights, like that kind of thing. But I feel like no matter what mood I'm in, I can always pop this in and feel good.
That's what is most important. So, yeah, fair enough. And not to be redundant, but I am kind of with you. Star Wars was a very defining film for me. It was like, I want to say about 5 years ago now, even though we were just talking about 5 years ago is when I came across the channel. How ironic's that? Anyway, it was like 5 years ago, just like found it on a Labor Day, just playing on TV, and I just like remember, damn, this is truly a magical movie. And for the longest time, I would say it was my favorite movie of all time. It's changed, but it is still a terrific film and a defining film and series for me. So, yeah.
It's also the thing about like film tastes in general is they change over time.
They do, yeah.
Like what's a film that I really liked and don't really like anymore? Some of the later MCU films, like I loved Shang-Chi when I first saw it. It's okay now. Like
agreed.
That kind of thing, stuff always changes, but like I would say the first like 10 episodes of my show Home Media Reviews, those films have not changed, like how much I loved those. And this was the first movie I ever covered on Home Media Reviews.
Great way to start it.
There's a reason for that.
Yep. Anyways, so when was the first time you remember seeing this movie? Did you experience it in theaters like with most of us that made it cross like $1.5 billion or whatever?
It did make a shit ton of money, but
yeah.
No, I did not. Shocker, I know, but I did not see Avengers in theaters. I was not really a movie fan, to be quite frank, in 2012. Let me think about this for a second. My first exposure to the Avengers was actually a group of friends that went to go see it and were telling me about how good it was. And I was like, it's a comic book movie. I'm not really into those. I don't really care for that medium or whatever. I really wasn't a movie person at the time. And then I was walking through Kroger one day with my parents, and we were grocery shopping. And for some reason, Kroger's a grocery store, but they still sell movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but they had an end cap with a couple movies on it, and the Avengers had just hit physical media. I hadn't upgraded to Blu-ray yet, so I was like, hey, look, it's the DVD. I'm kind of interested in seeing that. My mom said, you want to watch that? Because I had never expressed any interest in superheroes before. I was like, yeah, it looks good. It looks okay. And then after that, I never thought about it for a couple of months. And then after seeing the first Iron Man through a TV broadcast, I recorded it on my, was it Insight or DirecTV we had at the time? I recorded it on my DVR, watched it through that, loved it. And then I was like, I got to see the Avengers because everyone's telling me how great it is. I just started getting into movies. I got into movie YouTube at that point and was like, I got to see this movie. So I went to Target and I bought the Avengers on DVD. That DVD is somewhere in the house right now. I couldn't find it for the stream. I still have it, but I don't know where it is. And I watched it and I loved it. I was like, dude, this is fan freaking tastic. I had a very controversial opinion at that time. I said the Avengers was better than the Dark Knight. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that now. I think the Avengers is more fun than the Dark Knight, but I think the Dark Knight's a better made film.
Agreed.
Especially,
Agreed.
I just rewatched it like a week ago, so it's still fresh in my mind. But after seeing that, I was like, I love this movie. I got to own it on Blu-ray. So a few years later, after I upgraded to Blu-ray, I grabbed this copy off eBay, and it's been my main Blu-ray copy ever since then. But then a few years ago, 2019, I think it was, maybe it was 2018. I can't remember. It was for one of the two last Avengers films, Endgame and Infinity War. Marvel released the Avengers on 4K, and I grabbed this beautiful, beautiful steelbook from Best Buy whenever that came out. Pre-ordered and everything. I love this. I love this copy so much. It's amazing. And not only that, but the 4K transfer is astounding. You can count the fibers on Captain America's suit. It looks so good.
Wow.
So there's that. And then
that's a really nice steelbook there, man.
Also got the Target exclusive variant, which has the bonus disc. It's not in here right now. I don't know where it is, but I do have that bonus disc. I just don't know where it is, but that's the Target exclusive. And then to go so far, I even grabbed the 3D version, I think on clearance from my Half Price Books. Does this have it in it? Yes, it does.
Nice.
That's
I've never been to a Half Price Books in my life just because there's not one near me. I think.
What?
I live in northern Indiana, so I think the nearest one to me is somewhere like 2 hours away from me or something like that. I've just never been to them. And this is a familiar face to me. I mean, he's never been on my channel, but I have seen him in your live chat. Gum Robber.
Oh yeah, hey Gum Robber, what's going on, my man?
Garrett showed so many copies of the Avengers during his pilot of HMR. Yep. Yep.
That doesn't shock me that does not shock me that Gum Robber remembers that.
Yep. Isn't that one like close to like 50 minutes long or something like that? That episode of the show.
It might be. Let's do a quick fact check here. YouTube Creator Studio.
Keep unplugging my headset.
It's 37 minutes.
37. Okay. So
I think the longest episode I have ever done is, it might be the Toy Story one. That one was close to like an hour and a half.
And there goes the ring light again. Great. Second time already. Man, this is a record. How many times can I drop the ring?
You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it.
Yep. So then next question. You know what? I've already run out of questions. So what about the movie makes it so special to you? And like what stands out against other movies in the world? Like, you know, The Dark Knight, like you mentioned, or Expendables 2, like what makes it stand out against the rest?
I would say probably just the amount of fun that's involved in it. The dialogue is very poppy. It snaps really quick. No scene feels like it drags. It's the perfect length. Just everything about it makes me feel good while I watch it. The way that all the characters come together in a very satisfying way, and the fact that you don't necessarily have to see all the other movies leading up to it to understand what's going on. I mentioned earlier how I had only seen it after I saw the first Iron Man. I didn't know what happened in Thor, Captain America, anything like that, or even the Incredible Hulk. But watching the Avengers, I knew exactly what was going on with everyone. I may not have understood everything, but
Mm-hmm.
I knew Captain America was frozen in ice, man at a time. Thor is from another world. Um, Obviously Hulk. Everybody knows what Hulk is. Black Widow, kind of knew who she was. Hawkeye, same deal. But it it really it's really just the perfect ensemble film for an ensemble cast. I'd hold this up along with the original Ocean's 11, or the remake of Ocean's 11. Excuse me, not the original. The original one sucks. The
Oh,
remake of
I haven't
Ocean's
seen it, so
11,
I can't say anything. But
it's not it's not good. Um, if you want to
I
watch
mean,
a
I don't
movie
know
with
how
a
you
bunch of
can.
old men,
Uh,
if you want to watch a movie with
I
a bunch of old men that just sit around and smoke and drink the whole time, then yeah, watch the original Ocean's 11. With the remake of that is a perfect uh, ensemble cast film, which was taken off the pedestal by this because this has still not been beaten um, as a perfect ensemble cast. Just everyone feels great, great together. There's amazing chemistry, just everything about it. It's hard to boil
yeah.
it down.
Yep. If I remember right, this is the very first like team up superhero film. So like from an expanded universe that gets together all of the characters in the universe. This is the very first time that ever happened. There wasn't a Justice League movie before that. There wasn't a um or an Avengers movie before that. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe you can count Fantastic Four, but it wasn't like an expanded universe. They didn't have a Mr. Fantastic movie, solo movie, whatever. This was the very first one. Am I correct on that?
Yes, it's the very first one where it was a success to actually take all these characters from singular films and put them together into one film and make it work. There'd been plans for Justice League team up films, like with George Miller and his canceled Justice League movie.
I do
Um,
remember hearing about that. I don't know if that was supposed to be like an expanded universe or whatnot, but
I don't
it's
think
something
so. I
look
think from
forward
what I've
to.
heard, they were going to launch with George Miller's Justice League and then lead off into other standalone sequels after.
Okay.
Could be right, could be wrong on that, but I've, I've heard some people try to say that, like, well, the Incredible Hulk movies from the 1980s had like other characters in there, so they're technically team ups, kind of, but they're not teams. Like it's just Hulk and
Yeah.
Thor or Hulk and Daredevil. Like it's
And I
just
mean, if I remember right too, though, didn't they like fight against each other? And then it was like the Batman v Superman thing where they're like, "Oh, we don't like each other. We're gonna fight." And then the whatever the line is, the Martha line, and then they're like, "Friend, friend." Yeah, is
they
it like
punch for a bit and
yeah?
they punch for a bit and then they're mates. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how I've always described it. Or well, I got that from the Weekly Planet. I should clarify that. I didn't come up with that. They came up with that, but
Yeah.
they punch for a bit and then they're friends. Like, yay! Which kind of also happens here. I mean, the scene in the forest where Cap, Thor, and Iron Man all fight each other because Loki is just hanging out watching, like on the mountaintop. That's a
Mm-hmm.
great scene.
It is. Yeah, I remember. This is how goofy I am. I remember playing through that so many goddamn times in Lego Marvel's Avengers. I don't know if you ever played it. I remember playing that level so many goddamn times because it was just such a fun scene, and I loved reliving it and playing through it because it just felt immersive to me, like I was
Yep,
playing through like one of my favorite movies. So
yep.
yeah,
I think I had Lego Avengers like the week that it released. Like I bought it digitally on the Xbox 360 Live shop. So that was a fun time. I spent weeks and very long nights making my way through that game.
nice. I I think I was like a month late to buying it, but I got it on my PS3 like the year at least the year that it released, and I remember I bought all the DLCs for it, but like everything before playing through it, and then I played through it and it was like one of my favorite games ever just cuz I'm a Marvel geek
Mhm.
and that it captured that.
Isn't it
And also,
crazy too? It's crazy to me to think like I paid $60 for that game at launch. And
yeah,
now on like the Xbox One store, it's like $5 regularly on sale. Like I think I
yep,
bought it a few years ago just because it was on sale on my Xbox One. Have I played it yet? No, but it's
it's
sitting
fun to
there.
have though. Yep.
It's right over there. I could pop it in at any time. Like it's $5 on the Xbox Live Store. And I paid $60
Yeah.
for it at launch on the 360. Like whew, that's
Yeah. I
crazy.
remember I think I paid, it was like, I want to say it was like 43.99 or something like that. So it had gone down just like a tiny bit, but it kind of seems like all like Lego games do that, because I know now, like if you go on like the Switch eShop or whatever, they have, like if you just go to like the deal section, it'll be like the top, like within like the top 10, you'll see all of the Lego games on there going for like $5 to $10. Like that Lego
Yep.
DC Villains game or whatever that is, that I don't think
Yep.
that's ever gone over like the $15 range. So
I don't think so
it's kind
either.
of sad.
At least not on the Switch. Like it released at a $60 price point, of course, but like
Yeah.
just wait.
God,
Wait in here.
three.
There it goes. We should have made
three
that a drinking game. We should have made the drinking game. Everyone take a shot every time Mike's ring light falls over.
I'm drinking my bougie ass Starbucks.
Bougie. And I have a show me your pities koozie here. So there's that. Gotta represent my girl Leia everywhere I go.
Yep. As a dog person, that is a fucking awesome koozie. Anyway, Gum Robber. I also remember I watched Garrett's unboxing of Thomas Comes to Breakfast 1998 VHS to Bad It's Gone. I don't think I've ever seen that, but I mean, yeah, it's in the archives somewhere, I'm guessing.
It is in the archives somewhere. We're not going to address that.
Yeah.
We're going to move
by
on
the way,
with that one.
Garrett, I made a post today and briefly mentioned you in it. Before you ask, it has nothing to do with you know who and those two. Oh, okay. Yeah, the two shall not be named. Yep. I heard the story. I heard the story, but I did not watch it live. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So, other than that, like any thoughts on like the MCU as a whole, or just the other Avengers movies that you have?
Well, Avengers obviously is my favorite out of the MCU. It's great. Watch it anytime. But Infinity War and Endgame, I feel, form the best film duology of all time. That may be controversial, but the fact that they cap off the fact that they cap off the Infinity Saga so well, and it was so satisfying to those who didn't hate the movies irrationally. I loved both of them. Four.
Take a shot. God damn. I need to get this fixed. Anyway, continue while I get this situated.
While Mike fixes his shit.
That's 5.
That's 5? Oh, that's God. 5. Another shot.
Another shot. Shots.
So, yeah, I remember seeing both Infinity War and Endgame in theaters with my brother at the time. And after Infinity War ended, we just looked at each other and we're like, that's it? It's over? Like, we half expected Deadpool to walk out and just go, it's over. Go home.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Like,
yeah.
Yes, I know that's from Ferris Bueller, but Deadpool made it funnier. And like that whole year, just in anticipation, waiting to see how it was going to end. Just, one of the best times to be alive over on movie YouTube. I'd say that time and before Batman v Superman hit was like the golden age of speculation for film YouTube. Like people were making videos left and right about that film. Same thing with Endgame. It just we haven't had that level of hype for anything in the last 5 years, I'd say. And it's kind of sad when you think about it that way, because Marvel used to be this big bombastic film franchise that like everybody
Mhm.
was excited to see.
And now every movie in
And what
that
have we
series is
had?
just bombing. Yeah,
And what
the
have we had
Marvels.
past Endgame? I mean, we had No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home is
Yeah.
great. We had Shang-Chi. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
The Black Widow movie, it's okay.
Yeah.
Not the best. I feel like if it came out right after Civil War did, it would have been seen as more fun or at least
Hmm.
better than it actually is.
Wakanda Forever was
Looking over
good.
at I'm looking over at my shelf right now. Eternals, garbage,
Hmm.
absolute garbage.
We can
That is the
relate on
worst
that.
thing the MCU has ever made.
She-Hulk, but
Um,
yes.
well, yeah,
Close
She-Hulk.
second.
That's
Close second. Hmm.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Not
Hmm.
good.
Booty. Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. Ant-Man 3. Hmm. Yep, yep, yep,
Did
yep.
not like that one. Um,
Guardians 3 though. Guardians 3. There was that.
Guardians 3. Yeah, yeah. Guardians 3 is great. I liked Black Panther 2. I know a lot of
Hmm.
people did not like Black Panther 2, but I thought it was very, very good.
I've watched it
Um,
once since the theaters and have not had the desire to go back to it, but I got a nice slip on my Blu-ray, so I'm happy. They
it's
got
a
an even better one
very
on Disney Movie Club or whatever. So
yeah.
snag that, or it's on Disney Movie Insiders now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I just
I
snagged
might have to snag that.
Pooh's Grand Adventure, the service. I grabbed it.
Oh, hold on. Technical difficulties. Sorry, everybody. Oh,
Okay, there we go. I don't know what I think my internet just took a poop on me.
I thought it was my internet for a second, but that's good.
I was
Not
I
good.
was like, you
Not good.
froze for a second, and I thought you were just shocked that I had bought Pooh's Grand Adventure on Blu-ray, and then I was like, "Uh-oh, everything shut off. That's not good."
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, but that is a good buy though. Who's Grand Adventure?
Yeah, I just snagged that over on Disney Movie Insiders last night because Jay, comment you just put on screen there, Jay
Mm.
told me about it. I did not know they
W.
were putting the Disney Movie Club stuff over on Insiders, but
I
very
didn't know that
good.
either until I watched your the replay of your stream actually. So
Hmm.
I went on there and I got Blu-ray for Black Panther because I just owned it on DVD because I've had it since it came out. So
Sweet.
yeah. Hmm. And
Black Panther
also
was actually Black Panther was the first 4K I ever purchased.
nice. That's not a bad pick. I mean, CGI aside, not a bad pick.
I mean,
Uh,
I didn't. I bought it for the steelbook primarily. I didn't buy it
oh,
because I love the movie. I bought it for the steelbook, and I knew I was going to upgrade to 4K eventually because I was buying an Xbox One S a few weeks later. So I just bought that um, in anticipation of being able to watch it in 4K. But the steelbook is
nice.
nice. It looks kind of like Black Panther's Frozen in Carbonite. But
That's okay. Yeah, that's the steelbook I was thinking of.
mhm.
Not controversial to me. Love Infinity War 9 game. Amen. See, I remember when those were first announced, they were named Infinity War Part 1 and 2. And
Mhm.
I'm glad they didn't stick to that, but it would have been cool having them named Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, but they tried to subvert expectations with that because they're like, hey, Endgame's not gonna like follow up on Infinity War directly.
But
Bullshit.
it did.
You
Bullshit.
tried to subvert expectations. I get it, but everybody knew. Like when they said that the title of Avengers 4 was not mentioned in Infinity War, and Doctor Strange says we're in the end game now. I'm like, come
Oh,
on, guys.
mhm.
You're not fooling anybody.
Yep. Cars 3 was the first 4K I remember getting at a Target in San Francisco. Nice. It's a good
I
pick.
still have not watched that on 4K. I need to.
I
love
believe
Cars
the
3.
first. I believe the first 4K I ever bought was Kick-Ass. It was the Lionsgate Steelbook because I was like way behind on getting 4Ks. So, yeah.
That's a badass steelbook, though.
Mm-hmm. It is nice. And also, speaking of Lionsgate Steelbooks, this is the most recent addition to my collection, and probably my favorite
Oh,
Steelbook that I own.
it's so beautiful.
I know,
I
and
love
also
that.
this is why this is like my favorite Steelbook.
Oh, that's perfect.
I know it is
Man,
such a
Dread is
great
so
movie.
underrated.
It
Dread is
is.
so good.
It is a great movie. Like if you catch me on the right day, I would say that's probably my favorite comic book movie ever. But it's a great film.
I just grabbed I found this for cheap at a half price books the other day. I grabbed the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Nice. That is a
Very
cool looking
nice
Steel.
Lionsgate steelbook there.
I need to buy that one. I don't own any of the Hunger Games movies though, just because I've never really been into them. But it is a nice looking steel.
I rewatched them all leading up to this one. I'm still not too satisfied with how the whole saga ends, but
Yeah.
it was going to be really hard to follow up Catching Fire because Catching Fire is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That is
Mockingjay
a
Part
really
1
good
and
movie.
2 are kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. If I
I can
could
see what
just
they were going
buy,
for.
yeah, if I could just buy the first two and then Songbirds and Snakes, I would, but I would be obligated to buy the other two, and I don't know. I just haven't felt the necessity to buy them, but I mean, I might at some point. I don't know. I just pulled the trigger because they always pop up in Goodwills, so I like, why not?
That's one
$2.
I always see in either like in the clearance section at half price books or at a Goodwill or something. They're always in pawn shops. Like everybody bought the Hunger Games and then everybody sold the Hunger Games.
Yep. Yep.
And then
Uh,
since we're talking steelbooks today, I just grabbed the Sting
that
from half price
that is a
books as well.
nice. That is a nice one.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but I do want to because it is a classic. I know
I mean, I'll watch
Walmart.
Paul Newman in virtually anything. He's next to
He's
Robert
awesome.
Downey Jr. and possibly Tom Cruise. Paul Newman's like my favorite actor.
Great actor for sure. I know I've
Like,
seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He's awesome in that. And also that's Robert Redford's in that one too, I believe. Shit, what else have I seen him in?
The Color of Money is really good.
I've not seen Color of Money actually. I've never seen The Gambler either. So, how long have I been collecting physical media? Basically my whole life. Started out watching or buying, I should say, Thomas and Friends home media. So that's, something we can both relate to probably. And then
That's how you know he's a real one.
Yep. I have my entire VHS Thomas and Friends collection over there, and then down in my basement, I believe I have all my DVDs. So, yeah. And then I think it was like around 2016 is when I kind of started collecting, which I was 8 then. So, yeah. That it was weird because I would just buy the movies that I was like interested in or had seen. So like it was mainly just new movies, and that's why I own the Ghostbusters 2016 movie, which we don't
I
talk
would
about.
gag, but
But
I haven't seen it in full.
I sat through it in theaters, so yeah. For some reason, I felt the necessity to have it. Anyway, yeah. So it's been about 7 or 8 years since I started collecting, like actually collecting movies. But yeah, really started collecting though around 2020, because that's kind of when I like came into the movie YouTube space, when I found, like John Flickinger and Chris Stuckman, Sean Chandler, all of the goats of the platform. So
Pretty much all the guys I'm
yeah,
fans of too. I love
yep,
John Flickinger, man.
yeah,
I was just watching a video. John was just in a video from Alex Leba.
he actually
He was
lives
in
in
a
my
vlog with
hometown.
him.
Yeah, Alex Leva
Alex
lives in my
Leba?
hometown. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah. So we've
Uh,
we've met up a couple times. He's a great guy. I really want to meet
dude,
John
that's
now that
awesome.
they've met. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, John has gray in his hair now. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
It makes me feel old. Like, I was watching
Yeah.
him when I was in middle school. I was way too young to be watching him.
I mean, I watched him technically when I was in elementary school. So like,
You were
yeah.
way younger than me watching
Mm-hmm.
him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's weird to me though, like thinking that like I'm the same age as he was when he was making those weird videos in his mom's basement. Like,
When he was jacked, yeah. I wish I could be as jacked as that guy when he was in
me too. He was
what
huge.
2013 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Fun fact about me: I got Thomas and the Magic Railroad Blu-ray 2 weeks early as proof in my 2020 Thomas collection video. Nice. That
Two
that is
weeks
a good one.
early. How about that?
I need to get that Blu-ray yet because I need to watch the extended cut or whatever.
The
Even
Blu-ray
though it
looks good.
apparently has like that's good.
Yeah, yeah, the Blu-ray looks good. The picture quality looks great on it. Movie itself's not great, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, movie itself is always
not
another
like
story.
not like this one, bringing it full circle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir. Um. So yeah, continuing thoughts on. I guess we'll get back to topic. I guess continuing thoughts
We'll
on.
get
Like,
back to the topic now.
Yep. Yep. So what else do you think about the MCU in general? Like prior to Phase 4, which is just like Phase 4 and 5, which is just like unnecessary. It's not
Kind of
canon.
eh.
Yeah, it's not canon.
I still, I don't think I go that far. I'm still a Marvel guy. I in Feige, I still trust. Um, I really am not a fan of how they're going about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
at least with how I think it came out a few days ago that when Bob Chapek was CEO of the Walt Disney Corporation, his mandate was content, 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 because they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
fill out the ranks over on their streaming service. And I get it, but at the same time, though, Disney, why did you just come here? Come here for just a second. We're gonna have a little heart to heart here, Disney. Okay, why did you start a streaming service if you knew it was going to be a money pit? Why did you do that? Anyway,
Yep.
I'm gonna readjust the gain on this. I don't get it. Like, why would you greenlit all of this garbage just to say, like, look at all this content we've got on Disney Plus now? None of it's good, but it's there.
And that's why they've figured that out. They've figured that out, and you can tell because they've canned all of their shit. I mean,
I know.
I liked half the stuff that they canned too. It was like the Jeff Goldblum show. What else was there? The one and only
That
Ivan. That
really
was a
made me
decent
upset.
movie.
That
Yeah.
really made me upset when they pulled all that shit off Disney Plus, and knowing that you couldn't buy it anywhere else,
Mm-hmm.
that just did not sit right with me, especially the Jeff Goldblum show. I've got the Jeff Goldblum show archived on my hard drive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
hush, hush.
Anywhere else, it literally isn't anywhere else. So
I know.
I'm finding it.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But and then they've started pulling back on all their television shows, which is a good thing because stuff like Moon Knight or the Obi-Wan Kenobi series could have been movies and probably should have been movies. The
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan Kenobi show specifically should have been a movie, not 6
I still
episodes
think,
long.
yeah, I still think that Falcon
Should have
and the
been a
Winter
movie.
Soldier is a movie too, but
Falcon and the
that's
Winter
just
Soldier definitely. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I would argue, probably shouldn't have even been made.
yeah. Honestly, I feel like it would have been kind of better if you just like took like the end, like if you did a movie where you just like took the end of Endgame when the shield's given to Sam, and then cut like however many like a year later or whatever, and it's just that
Mm-hmm.
ending fight from Falcon and the Winter Soldier shoved in the beginning of the movie. But
Yeah, that TV show is like the definition of unnecessary to me because
mm-hmm.
look at Sam Wilson. He's in the exact same place that he was in at the end of Endgame, and then he's in the exact same place at the end of the TV show. He's Captain
Mm-hmm.
America. What changed? Nothing.
Yeah.
He got a new suit. That's it. And then the Winter Soldier got therapy. Go home.
Not to mention though, the suit at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier is so good, and they're replacing it already.
It is.
It's so sad.
Where's my figure I have of it? It's up here. Oh, please don't fall. Okay. Look at him.
That is a nice freaking figure.
Look at him. He's so good.
Mm-hmm. And the
And then
wings.
you're gonna get
too.
two.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna get 2 for 1 because Scarlet Witch was gonna fall over. So there's her. Yay.
Yay!
Speaking of Scarlet Witch, Multiverse of Madness, loved that movie. It was
Yeah,
great.
It was good. I've
A lot of
only
people
watched
didn't-
it like twice, but it was good.
Do I think that they could have went a little farther with the multiverses? Yeah, but what we
Mhm.
got was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and as a Sam Raimi fan too, like Evil Dead is like my favorite horror franchise ever. I love the horror stuff, so
Yeah, I'm not really a horror guy. I knew Sam
Okay,
Raimi from
I
the
don't-
Spider-Man. I knew Sam
I-
Raimi from the Spider-Man movies, so I'm like, yeah, he did Evil Dead. I don't know if they're good or not, but Spider-Man was good.
Mm-hmm. See, Evil Dead is, I feel like it's kind of an entryway horror movie a little bit. It's pretty cheesy. The first one is extremely low budget. Second one also kind of low budget because it wasn't like a big studio film. The third
Mhm.
movie is where it gets really, really campy, and it's like genuinely one of my favorite movies just because of how campy it is. And I mean, same thing with the second one. It's super goofy, but it is like up there for one of my favorite movies ever. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd recommend them, but if you are, I mean, if you're looking for like an entryway horror movie, but like if you don't want to watch a horror movie, then don't watch those. Unless you just want to cut to Army of Darkness, which is a genuinely goofy, good time.
I feel like the closest to a horror movie I've seen is probably Shaun of the Dead,
Mhm.
which is
That's
more
that's a
which
good
is more comedy, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. That was one of my first horror movies too, I believe, was Shaun of the Dead. Great, great movie. The Winchester. Yep. Great movie.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Would you say Jaws might be a horror movie? I know some people have said
I
like
mean-
it's kind of a horror movie. I think of it more as a thriller, personally.
I mean, I would kind of consider it a horror movie a little bit. I mean, there's some pretty like intense bits to it. I mean, the thriller is intense, but I'd say it kind of is a little terrifying to think about, like the concept of it. Just like a town that's getting attacked by a shark, and the mayor doesn't want to do anything about it. That's kind of scary to think about, but I mean, hey, yeah. I'd
There's some
also
graphic
consider,
stuff in that
yeah,
though. Like
hmm I'd also consider the Terminator a horror movie, but yeah,
it's it's pretty close.
yeah.
That's
I
the
mean,
thing too
it's pretty
about
much a
movie genres. That's the thing too about movie genres. It's hard for me, at least, to break down movies into just genres. Like I know how people have their
Mhm.
collections organized into like this is comedy, this is horror, this is thriller. Like, but what happens when you have multiple movies that have different genres blended into them? Like the Avengers has
Mhm.
comedic elements. It's also action. It's also comic book. Maybe not the horror aspect to it, but kind of
Yeah.
a thriller aspect to it too, but like or something like what do I got around here? Ugh. Something like Logan, another one of my favorites.
hmm
This is like also action. Um not really comedy per se, but it would be action thriller, something like that. It's hard to
hmm
really also road trip movies. This is one of the greatest
Road
road trip
trip,
movies ever made.
kind of a western too, a little bit. I mean, even
Western,
though it's
yes, yeah, kind of a
marketed with the
Western.
Johnny Cash song, it's not just because of that, but yeah.
That's a big part of it. This is it would also be considered that. Like it's hard for me to think like what's the one genre that one movie could be considered as. And that's why I have no organizational standards for my films.
I used to do genre organization, but I can't get myself to do that now. I just have, well, it's kind of just my movies all scattered all over the room currently, but I have just like alphabetical order, and then I have like certain franchises on the shelf over there. I have the
Mhm.
MCU, Mission Impossible, Star Wars, Scream, Halloween, like all of those. But yeah.
Yeah, I have kind of the same way. I'm also a filthy hypocrite and do have a couple of shelves that are genre specific.
Okay.
Um
that is
like
fair.
I have one shelf that's over here on this wall that's action oriented. Shelf above that is other comic book stuff that's not Marvel, and then science fiction, and then one shelf that's just Star Wars because I have too much Star Wars shit. Um
Relatable.
MCU is on this black shelf over here, specifically comedy. Underneath that shelf, and then the bottom shelf is just a catch-all. Like I've got boxing, thriller, Quentin Tarantino. Like it all melts together in my mind. Like I have,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
like how you put
crazy though.
I like how you put Quentin Tarantino as like his own genre because he kind of is
Oh
his
yeah,
own
he gets his
genre.
own.
Yeah.
I have him and Christopher Nolan as their own like area. So,
Yep. Um,
but I'm
David
not
Fincher
crazy
also
though.
almost.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't put like Cinderella next to Reservoir Dogs. That's just wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Um. Yeah. So, any closing thoughts on the Avengers as a movie?
if you haven't seen the Avengers, first of all, what have you been doing with your life? Secondly, I just it's a movie that I think I can watch at any point in time. It always makes me feel good. It's the first movie I watched when I graduated high school. I will never forget that. Um, and it's just it really other than I can watch it at any point in time and feel good and like it instantly lifts my spirits. Um, I feel like it's one of the this and I think Iron Man 3 were the two films that really said you love movies. You love how they're made, you're interested in how they're made, you want to watch them over and over again. You want to watch as many as you can, you want to experience this media format. And that's why filmmaking is my favorite artistic expression. I'm not a art snob. I'm not going to stare at a banana that's been hammered to the wall and say, "Ooh, that's great art." Like, no,
hmm
this to me is great art. And some people don't agree with that. That's okay, but they're wrong. Filmmaking is art. This is
Mm-hmm.
art, and I love it because of that reason.
Mm-hmm. It's my kind of art too.
Also, this is art. I just feel like I
Yes.
have to mention that. Fun
And
fact,
also,
Logan is one of the only movies I've ever almost cried in.
that is one of mine for sure.
I've told this
Uh,
story multiple times, but I went to see it with a couple friends in high school, and I already knew it was going to be interesting when we first got in the theater because
mm,
I was 17 at the time. My two friends were 16, so they couldn't legally go in to see it. They actually convinced this guy that was going to go see the movie too to let them sneak in with him.
oh,
So we all watched Logan together. And at the end of the movie, my buddy looks over at me and goes, "Are you okay, man?" And I'm just like shriveled up into a ball, like, "I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm okay." And then
yeah,
the fucking Johnny Cash song starts playing. I'm like, God,
no.
I'm gonna lose it.
I hurt myself
I'm gonna lose it.
today. Yep. Uh, I don't remember the last time I cried in the theater, but man, there have been so many movies I've seen at home that made me cry. I mean, well, Endgame was probably like the last main time that I cried in the theater,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I mean, Logan I saw at home. Interstellar makes me cry like a fucking bitch.
Really?
Yeah, that movie is so sad. Like I at least cried like twice watching that movie. Um, I mean, the obvious one when Matthew McConaughey is crying, and then
Yeah.
also, just the ending, seeing his daughter basically die. That was just
Yeah. It sucked.
that was yeah that was yeah. Um, actually, one that made me cry not because the movie was like so emotional. It was The Last Jedi because of how fucking much I hate that movie. But
Ooh,
yeah,
we do not agree on that.
yeah,
We do not agree on The Last Jedi.
it was just
But
like
that's
it was.
okay.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
that's
It's fine.
okay.
We have so
I
many
can
other
just say I can
interests.
just say nicely that I hope Mike dies in a fire because he doesn't like The Last Jedi. That's okay.
So, I guess we can agree on Rise of Skywalker then.
Yes, we can agree on Rise of Skywalker. That movie's so dumb, but I kind of enjoy it because of how bad it is.
I've only seen it in the theaters, and that's it. So I've never
Look,
had the desire to rewatch it, unless you consider
it made,
playing through it in the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga or whatever, which it bored the shit out of me playing that. But yeah, you know,
it made it made no sense how Palpatine came back. That's why they just said somehow Palpatine returned. But Ian McDiarmid is so good
clones.
in that role, I did not care.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, shoot that lightning.
Yep.
He's like, I
Apparently,
got a
clones.
million spaceships up in the sky. There's a
Yeah.
million starships. And then Poe Dameron comes out of hyperspace and he's like, I have a million spaceships too.
Wait, no, I don't. There they are. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There they are. Because you gotta have the end game moment, and then the Star Wars theme plays. And I'll admit, I got chills. But after thinking about it for 2 seconds, it wasn't as emotional as the portal scene in Endgame, which I still chill. I still almost tear up every time I see it.
You know, fun fact about Endgame for me, I've only seen it all the way through once, and that was in the theaters. I've seen
Ooh.
the opening 45 minutes like 2 or 3 times. And I've seen the last 45 minutes at least 20 times. The rest of it, I have not rewatched in its entirety, but I am due for a rewatch. So
yeah.
I've
seen that and its older sibling probably in the double digits. Same thing with the first Avengers. I mean, I think I've seen all 4 of the Avengers films in at least 10 times each. Because I remember when Age of Ultron came out, everybody was saying how like Age of Ultron's not as good as the first one. And I'm like, no, Age of Ultron's good, guys. Stop it.
It's not as good as the original. They're right. It's good though.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
good. It's not as good
Yeah.
as the first one, but I thought it was. I have a newfound appreciation for it.
Mm-hmm. Same. I've seen Infinity War at least like 20 times. Actually used to throw that on like just to fall asleep watching it. So I've seen like the opening 30 minutes probably 50 times.
Yeah,
So
I'll
like
throw
yeah.
if I'm like working on a video or something. I'll throw something like that on in the background when I'm laying on my bed when I edit videos
Mhm.
because that's how I edit.
Yeah.
But
See, I'm the kind of person, just because this is sitting here, I'm the kind of person to throw on something stupid like Dwayne the Rock Johnson in the Rundown, but yeah, that's me. Yep.
I own that. I haven't seen it, but I have it.
It's it's actually kind of a good movie. Sean
Okay.
William Scott's in it, which makes me laugh because I can only see him as Scott, not Scott, Steve Stifler in American Pie. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Stifler.
anything he's in, yeah, anything I see him in, it's just like, oh, it's the Stiffmeister. Yeah, and I instantly
Oh,
think
it's
of
Stifler, man.
uh, yeah, Stifler. Shit, what's the line? It's like Sherman, is the Shermanator or whatever. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
Sherman, what the fuck are you doing here? That's just I instantly think of that.
Oh man, that first American Pie is so funny.
It is. I also really like the second one.
I've
Um,
not seen the second one. I hear they
well,
get progressively worse though as you watch them. Is that
I
true?
mean, kind of. I mean, the second one isn't as good as the first one, but it's still great. Um, the third one, American Wedding, probably my least favorite of the four, and then Reunion is pretty good. It's just a little bit too like modern day comedy esque, so
Mhm.
take that as you will. And
Okay.
then I haven't seen the spin-offs, but I don't want to. But
I feel
yeah.
like I have all three of them, I think. I don't think I have any of them physically, actually. I think I might have them ripped out of a hard
Oh.
drive, but I think I have access to all three of them at least. Um, I do a lot of like for my friends at work. They'll bring me movies that they have physically, and if they want me to rip them, I'll rip them for them, and then I'll give them to them digitally, and then I keep the digital files too.
Hmm.
There's one guy that I know brings in a bunch of stuff that I work on almost every week. We work really hard over at the IT business, very hard. We take work very seriously, and if my boss sees this live stream, I work very hard. Okay.
Yeah. I yeah, I would say the exact same thing. Garrett works very hard. Trust me on that one.
He's vouching for me. He's vouching for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I got your back, pal. I got your back.
makes me happy.
Anyways, yeah. So thank you for coming on as always, man. This
Yeah, no
is a
problem.
really great
This
time.
was this was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Had a great time talking the Avengers and the MCU and its downfall. And by the way, what I was saying by the past Endgame is not canonical. No Way Home, Guardians 3, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and Doctor Strange 2. Those are canon. The rest, I could take or leave, but yeah.
The rest of it can go die in a fire.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Shang-Chi's all right, but yeah.
Hey, don't you talk
I
don't you talk about Black Widow that way. It's not it's okay. It's
yeah,
okay. We
yeah.
can we can throw we can throw Eternals into the garbage though. Just throw that
Mhm.
away. Same thing with the Marvels. Throw it away.
Yep. And She-Hulk, if that
I
ever
don't
gets a
even
physical
own
release.
I don't even own the Marvels yet on 4K.
I don't either.
I say that I need it. I don't need it, but I do need it to complete my MCU collection.
I remember for the longest
But
time I was trying to complete my MCU collection. I actually didn't finish phase 1 through 3 until like last year.
ooh,
But
Okay.
I was working my damnedest to get there, and it was as soon as Phase 4 started, I couldn't give less of a shit to.
I
So,
think I had.
unfortunately.
I had everything up to Thor: The Dark World on DVD. Um, and then after I upgraded to Blu-ray, I thought, I'll keep these on DVD. They're fine.
Mhm.
And then after I started getting the others on Blu-ray, I was like, oh, damn it, it's that collector in me. Guess I gotta buy the Blu-rays of all of these. And then now I've got some of them on 4K now, like Avengers
Mhm.
and Iron Man. I upgraded to 4K. Captain America, all three of those have on 4K now. I did not take the leap and go into Thor, Thor 2 and Thor 1 on 4K though. I feel like I didn't need those.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I Thor: The Dark World, I could give less of a shit owning. Incredible Hulk, I don't need. Um, Thor, I don't really need either. The rest of them
I
would be pretty
still
good though.
I still think Thor's underrated, man. A lot of people out there are like, yeah, Thor's not that good. I'm like, but
It's
compared to everything else,
yeah, I mean, especially nowadays.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think does mine still have the yes it does. I grabbed this copy off of eBay as it was apparently a Best Buy exclusive years ago, but it's a different slipcover.
Nice. That is pretty
And
neat.
it's got Journey into Mystery.
Oh, I think they've
It's
actually
first
done that for a couple movies where they have the like the comic book on the back, but
mm-hmm.
I could not tell you which ones they have for that, in all honesty.
I love these. This is the first Captain America.
Hmm. Those are those are good. I don't own any of those, but I've seen them pop up in Best Buys, and it's just like I don't need them. But
Well, you won't see him anymore.
yeah,
Not in Best Buy, at least.
yeah. I mean, if I had a half price books, maybe, but
Hey,
they
make
just
the
got to
road trip
bully us.
down. I'll show you. Make the road trip down. We'll go to Half Price Books.
Mm. Kentucky, right?
Yes.
Okay, I am actually going to Kentucky in September, I believe, because they're doing Louder Than Life, and they got Slipknot and Korn, and I need to see them
Oh,
live. So
I've seen billboards for that. It's not far from my office.
nice. Um, got coming in the last little bit here. Katie, the Port City Gamer 75. What's up?
What's
Um, yeah. So again, thank you for hopping on here, Garrett. Really means a
Yeah, no
lot.
problem. Yeah.
And real quick, where can we find you, like on socials?
On socials. Well, you can find me in my house, but I don't want you to come to my house. So I'll just tell you where you can find me on socials. Um, you can find me on YouTube at LegoLover117. Find me on Twitter, X now, I guess. Find me
It's still
there at the same.
it's still Twitter.
It's still Twitter. I'm never calling that shit X. Find me there at LegoLover117 as well. I'm on Letterboxd at LegoLover117 as well. I'm trying to update that more frequently. I need to log a couple of films I watched this last week that I keep forgetting to do. But find me on Instagram at Garrett Garrett underscore Searles. That's where I post a lot of my movie reviews and just updates on life. I've also got a
Great movie
Facebook
reviews
page
over there,
for.
by the way.
Oh, thank you. I've also got a Facebook page, Garrett's Media Center. It's also where I post my written reviews that also go on my Instagram page.
Let me
So
add you over
you
there real
can look up
fast.
either of those. You'll get the same content.
Yeah.
Is that everything
Nice.
I have? I think that's everything I have.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, let me
You
find
can
you
find me
over
on
on
MySpace.
Facebook. Is that still
You
around?
cannot
I
you cannot find me on MySpace. Don't try to look
oh,
for me there. You'll
all
never
right.
find me there.
Garrett's Media Center. You said that's
The
Garrett's
profile,
Media Center, right?
yes.
Okay, Garrett's Media Center. Followed.
I would say
Boom.
the profile picture should be of me reading the book Scoundrels.
Nice.
in the middle of a field.
I've never read Scoundrels.
It was okay. I read it a few years ago. I'm actually getting ready to start. I know we're trying to end the stream. I'm actually getting ready to start this.
No worries. Yeah. Long time ago in a cutting room far, far away. Nice.
This is one of the editors who worked on Star Wars.
Nice.
He talks in this book. He edited Star Wars, Carrie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Mission Impossible, and more.
Nice.
Been wanting to read this for a while. So
yeah, that's
after I get done with Thrawn Treason, which I'm working through right now, then I'll read that.
I have not read any of the Thrawn books, but I've seen Ahsoka.
They're so good.
I've seen Ahsoka and Rebels, and that's the only introduction I have to Thrawn. So I need to get on.
And he's amazing, right? Right?
I mean, I'm not personally a huge fan of Rebels. He was good in Ahsoka. I don't know. I think Ahsoka's all right. I don't know.
I really liked Ahsoka. I really enjoyed it.
I liked everything that wasn't Sabine. So,
you like Sabine? No. You did not like Sabine. Tell her to her face you did not like her.
I like you in Rebels. I didn't like you in Ahsoka. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay.
You've been spared for right now. This helmet does not fit her head very well.
I thought she was a cool character. I just don't like that they kind of shoehorned in that she's a Jedi now all of a sudden, because it wasn't set up in Rebels very well. So like,
I thought it was kind of odd. Like,
yeah,
I get that you want to imply that a lot of time has passed. Like, oh yeah, they trained at some point, and since she's a Mandalorian, she's really hard-headed. Like, I get that. I think right now in canon, we only know of one other Mandalorian Jedi, which was Tar Vizsla. There were a couple others in the EU, but right now in just canon is just Tar Vizsla.
Mm-hmm.
So finding out that Sabine could at some point be another Mandalorian Jedi is pretty cool.
That is kind of neat, yeah. I mean, what was his name? It was Paz Vizsla, or is that his son's name? I don't remember.
Paz Vizsla is the bigger Mandalorian in the Mandalorian show. He gets
Pre Vizsla's the guy's name, right?
Pre Vizsla's the one that Darth Maul dueled and chopped his head off.
I mean, would Darth Maul count? Because he kind of took over Mandalore for a little bit. I mean, and he wielded a Mandalorian weapon, so that's a nice figure.
That's my guy, Pre Vizsla. They use the old Mandalorian body on this, but
I do have a Lego figure of Pre Vizsla. If I don't even know where I have my minifigures at. It's in like a fishing tackle box, which is kind of interesting, but yeah.
Better than them like in the garbage or something, so.
Yeah. Even though the tackle box would probably end up in there because it's like 1,000 years old, but yeah. From Katie, Garrett got us into collecting of our favorite things on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. More thanks to Home Media Reviews. Yeah, absolutely.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that makes me feel good. I've always said this. I've always said this behind the scenes, but if one person watches my stupid videos that I put out on the internet and like gets something out of it, then I've done my job as a YouTube content creator.
Yeah, and I mean that is an awesome mindset too, though.
It's why it's why I hardly ever cancel any videos.
I've had to cancel stuff in the past because of scheduling conflicts and whatnot, especially because school is a pain in the ass. But you
should just be like me and be graduated.
I wish.
Not have to worry about school.
Yep.
You just have to worry about other things like death and taxes.
Yep. Yeah, taxes are fun, aren't they? I've billed out taxes once and it wasn't fun, but you know.
We have a guy that does ours. I actually just got my tax documents back tonight.
Nice.
Yay
Isn't
me.
that
Uncle
fun?
Joe. Uncle Joe's gonna give me some money.
Yeah. Uncle Sam. Yep. Alrighty. Well, I think that's just gonna do it there. You've got me in the mood to watch the Avengers again tonight, so that's that's something.
That's good. That's good. You
Yeah.
should definitely do that.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a number of years, so it would be a nice refresher for sure.
I'll be very sad.
Yep. Nice
Just
posters.
so
Thank
sad.
you. Yes. Force Awakens in the background there, Oppenheimer, Babylon's behind me, and then
Ooh, I love the Oppenheimer one.
That. Yeah, and then there's a Michael Myers thing right there. My camera just turned, but whatever. And then Top Gun Maverick. I have stuff like scattered around my room. I have like a Thanksgiving one. There's like a Lego Star Wars poster for some reason. Jurassic Park, Scream 6 is over there too. And then I also have an Aquaman the Lost Kingdom poster that I have yet to hang up, which I don't really plan on doing it anytime soon.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I can't judge you too harshly. I have a Venom IMAX poster that I got when I first saw that movie in theaters, and it's hanging on my wall. It's been there since 2018. I don't really care for that. I don't really care for that movie, but the poster's nice.
Yeah. I mean, two all right movies, I guess. Not a great series like the Sony Spider-Man universe or whatever. I don't even remember what it's called. It's like the
Would Let There Be Carnage be considered an all right movie? I would consider it a bad movie.
I mean,
and entertaining.
Yes.
Entertaining bad movie.
Yes. Entertaining bad movie is the way to put it. Yep. Kind of the same thing with the first one, but it's a little funnier because Venom's like just chomping off like a grocery guy's head in the middle of the movie for no reason. But yeah,
that first Venom movie just feels like an early 2000s superhero script that somebody just locked in a vault. And then in 2017, they opened up the vault and said, "Look at this superhero script. Let's make it." And they didn't make any changes.
It kind of seems like Sony with at least their live action superhero movies, they are kind of stuck in that era. But I mean, I guess
just look at Madam Web
and Morbius.
Hey, don't you talk about our Lord and Savior Morbius like that.
Jared Leto. Lord and Savior Jared Leto. The greatest.
All I'll say about Madam Web is I went in hoping for a morbid good time, and I did not get a morbid good time.
Yeah.
I got a Madam Web.
It wasn't. Time. Yeah. It was a webbing time.
It was a bad web time.
My friend Pam ironically loves that movie, but yeah.
You know what? Hope actually liked it too. She walked out of there like, "Hey, I actually kind of enjoyed that." And I was like, "We're getting divorced." But no, she can like it. It's fine. She can like what she likes. She likes the Lorax from
the Lorax. That's not a terrible movie. At least, I mean,
no, it's bad. It's bad. It's not good.
It's not awful, but it's not very good.
Yes.
Taylor Swift is in that movie. Yeah.
I'm surprised that the Swifties haven't made that movie more popular now because their Lord and Savior Taylor is in it.
Well, all of the Swifties were previously Onceler-e's, I guess. So, yeah.
Oh, good. So they've grown up and moved on to Taylor.
Yep.
I wonder who they'll move on to next.
Yeah, they stopped drawing Onceler porn and started obsessing over Taylor Swift and Cruel Summer for some reason.
I don't mind her. I just think her fan base is
A little special.
a little rabid.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, congrats to her though. Eras Tour was like the most successful thing on the planet. So,
I know, right? That
yeah.
they have two versions of it over on Disney Plus now. Like that, her
Yeah,
tour
I
made
mean
like billions.
the concert tour in general though was like one of the most successful things on the planet.
Hmm. I heard about that.
I actually have a Luke Skywalker Funko Pop on my dresser as well. It's right next to a Darth Vader helmet. So, yeah, little Empire
Do I
Strikes
have
Back
a Luke
reference.
Skywalker somewhere in here?
I have Luke Skywalker holding Grogu.
I think it might be over here. Oh, I have several.
Oh, nice. Gotta love the Luke Skywalker shit. I know I have like, I think I have. I want to say I have like a lightsaber from Luke Skywalker, or maybe it's Anakin Skywalker. It's the same lightsaber. I don't know.
This is one of them. It's the celebration version.
Oh yeah, that's a cool one. Old.
And
You
then
can tell because they've improved their
yeah.
figures.
They're not in that like
Yeah.
this pose anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You won't like this one, but it's the just for men hair dye version,
Yeah.
as I call it.
By the way, if you're wondering how if you've not played it, the showdown in the end of Last Jedi goes, it is the most boring final fight ever. Actually, like in a video game, it is like one of the most boring things ever that I've played. It's just you move out of the way
It's been
a
a
couple
while
times.
since I've played it, but it's been a while since I played those levels. It's been a while since I played Skywalker Saga in general, but
Mm-hmm. I was a goof one year for Christmas. It was like I got that for Christmas, and then I got like an eShop gift card on my Switch and bought every last DLC because I was bored. So I was
I
like,
have all the DLC too.
yeah,
It's very fun.
I wish they had like the level packs or whatever like they do for other games, but oh well. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I have all the DLC. I have all the DLC for it too.
Yeah.
And then my last thing I'll show off before we end the show, because we have been trying to end this show for like the last 3 hours, and we just keep talking.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's me.
Hey, that's cool.
I popped myself.
Yeah, is that from the Funko HQ?
Yes.
That is awesome.
I will say this: the hairpiece could fit better on this head. You see the sideburn there? The way that they glued it, they didn't glue it right. But from the front, I think it looks like me.
Yeah, I see it.
They had a special going on where you could get a little pop pal with it. So I got a little black cat from my boy Lando.
Mm-hmm. Hope get Leia.
They didn't have a white. They didn't have a white pit bull on there.
Oh.
But I do have the little Kit Bull mini Funko mini figure here.
That's
cute. Which we were talking about movies and stuff we almost cried in. Whenever I saw the Kit Bull short for the first time, I was like, that's literally our animals.
Oh. Yeah, that was kind of with my animals that I had at that point when I saw it. Except the colors were switched around. I have a white and spots gray, like gray spot cat, and then a black dog. Or I had a black dog. But yeah, and my buddy Luke Ponto's in here. What is up? Go check out his channel, by the way, if y'all haven't. Great guy.
Luke.
Yes, Luke, I am your father.
That's not what he says.
That's not. I am your father. I don't know what the fuck he says.
You're gonna make me start twitching here.
Yeah.
One more story. Like 2 weeks ago at church, my pastor, I can't remember why he brought this up, but he mentioned in his sermon how like Darth Vader says, Luke, I am your father. And I wanted to blurt out from the back seat, that's not what he says.
What does he say? I haven't seen that bit in so freaking long at this point.
I felt like such a nerd. Like, that's not how he says it.
What does he say? I'm your daddy? What?
No, there is no Luke.
Oh.
He says, no, I am your father.
Oh.
People think that he says, Luke, I am your father. That's not what he said.
No.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Yes.
It's not what he says.
As a Star Wars fan, I am disappointed in myself. I am so disappointed in myself.
You should be. You should be.
Yes. I know.
You'll be getting 40 lashes after the show's over.
Okay. I'll make sure to forward you an extra like 10% to your income that I'm supposed
forward
to
me another 69 cents and we're good.
69 cents. Okay. I got you. So it'd be like what, 37,970.
We don't need to talk about pay rates on the show. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because then they'll know how much I'm worth, and then they'll all be like, "Hey, I'll pay you this much to be on our show."
It's another 69 cents to be on the show. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm a busy man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just be appearing on everybody's shows.
Yep. And speaking of live shows, Luke does run his own called the Moviegoers Show, I believe. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. He just invites a guest on every now and then and says, "Hey, join in." He's got our buddy, our friend, not buddy, but friend Tracy joining him. I think it's Monday that's happening. Correct me if I'm wrong, Luke, if you're still in here, which I don't know if he is, because it's been 3 minutes since he texted last. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I guess we will wrap up the stream here, unless you guys have any like final questions for us two, and then we will get out of your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, going back to books, I meant to say I've been trying to pick up Jurassic Park because I've actually never read this book in its entirety. Yeah.
Not to shit on that book or anything, but I read that in high school and I did not enjoy it.
Oh, interesting.
It's very different from the movie.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's very much more like horror based than the movie.
Yeah. There's really not a lot of dinosaur action in it.
Yeah. Funny enough, the last guest I had on the show, his favorite movie is Jurassic Park. It's kind of funny that you brought that up. I think that's actually why I have this book on my table right now. But yeah, we were just talking about that, how much different it is. And my friend Griffin, he posted a video recently about how he thinks that Jurassic Park should go back to like a horror route or something like that. I think it would kind of be decent if they did kind of go back to that kind of horror approach to it.
Yeah,
they did announce Jurassic World 4, and I don't think Chris Pratt is supposed to be returning, but I could be wrong.
I feel like if you wanted to do that, though, you'd have to reboot. Because with the Jurassic World films, I like the first Jurassic World, just full disclosure there. With that movie, you made it to where the public became not interested in the concept of dinosaurs being alive. and then you
Mhm.
totally squandered the whole idea of dinosaurs running around the entire planet in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and the Jurassic World Dominion. Both those movies are shit. You totally squandered that whole idea. So in order
Yeah.
to make it more horror themed and like more scary, you would have to basically ignore all the Jurassic World films in
Yeah.
their in their entirety, because the public is they're bored by dinosaurs. Basically, that's one of the things I really liked about Jurassic World, was like people are so bored of just regular dinosaurs that we have to make a new dinosaur to get them more interested. I thought that was a fantastic concept.
Mhm.
And seeing
And
that in
then
IMAX
they
3D, seeing that back in IMAX 3D with a whole bunch of friends was an awesome experience. It was like a roller coaster ride of a movie.
Yeah, I remember I just saw it and I think just normal 3D, and that was a really good time. The original Jurassic World, and yeah, I mean still a really fun movie. It's just
Oh
it
yeah.
kind of is sad to go back to it and think about they really did nothing with this reboot series. It's just like,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, kind
It's
of the
like
same thing.
if
It's
they
kind
had
of the
just
same thing with
stopped
Star
at
Wars,
4.
but yeah, if they just stopped at World.
If they had just stopped at 4, those are the only ones that I own on physical media. Like, I will never buy Fallen Kingdom or Dominion because they both stink.
Good for you, because I was gifted Fallen Kingdom, and then I felt obligated to buy Dominion, and I have the obligation to buy it second time because I don't have the extended cut, and I want to see the extended cut just to see if they improve anything in that extra 10 minutes or whatever. But I doubt they will because that movie's already shit. But hey, I mean, Batman vs Superman added a lot in its
You
extended
poor,
cuts.
you poor soul. I will bless you now.
Okay.
Cleanse you of your sins against humanity.
I know. I have failed. Um,
I'm so
actually,
sorry, Master Wayne. You trusted me, and I failed you.
oh,
You trusted me, Master
yeah.
Wayne.
All right. Katie says, I got the 2 child Funko Pops, Grogu and the Mandalorian Funko Pop. Nice.
Love that.
Yep. I believe I have the Mandalorian flying and holding Grogu, and then I have Luke Skywalker holding Grogu. I had a Grogu. Actually, I have a Grogu 10-inch across the room for me, but I don't feel like grabbing it because I'm a lazy fuck. Um, and then I also have Ahsoka from Mandalorian season 2. So yeah,
I have
I
not dove into those 10 inches, and I
mm,
want to, but where the fuck would I put them? That's my big thing now. Is
I had
I have completely maxed out the storage space in this room right now, that I am like
mm,
just stacking shit on top of shit. So I have to be
yeah,
very
I've
picky and
done
choosy
pretty
with
much
what
the
I
same
buy
thing.
now.
I've done
I'm
pretty much the same
very
thing. There's no room on my walls for posters anymore. There's like I have that shelf full of stuff. I have my dresser is filled with stuff. Like holy shit! And then I've been stuffing stuff in my closet. Like I have a Godfather poster in there that I'd like to display in here, but there's nowhere else I can put it. Would yeah.
It's hard, man. Like there's so much stuff that I would love to have, and there's so many lines that I'd love to collect, but like I've basically like narrowed down to physical movies and action figures. Like those are the only two things that I really buy at a constant rate anymore. Like my I've basically stopped purchasing the DC Universe line from McFarlane. I used to buy those a lot because I loved I love their sculpts.
Mhm.
But I just don't have anywhere to put them right now.
I
I
don't
still
know if
buy
they
Black
even make those
Series.
anymore. Honestly, I saw that they put stuff out for like the Suicide Squad, and I never saw anything else from them after that.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of sad.
they're still chugging away.
That's
They
good.
just released a couple figures for the Dark Knight trilogy. They released Joker, Batman, and Two Face.
I kind of want to buy that Joker now.
The Joker looks really good. Like I
That's cool.
almost bought it. I was like, yeah, I really want that, but where would I put it? I think the only ones I have on display right now are Michael Keaton Batman and a comic book Superman because they both look great together.
Nice.
Um, I don't buy a lot of Marvel Legends anymore. I used to, but I really only buy Marvel Legends of characters that I really like in mediums that I really like. Black
Hmm.
Series is really the one action figure line that I'm like, I'll buy anything from. But even that, I'm like
I
picky and choosy with.
Yeah, I want to start buying Black Series and possibly Marvel Legends because I do like the Marvel Legends sculpts and I also like the boxes a lot, but it's just like they're kind of out of my price range. Funko Pops
Yeah,
are a little bit easier for me, but I have like definitely slowed down on Funko Pops too. So if anything, I'll buy them like when I stop in my local comic book shop because I've sold a bunch of them recently, even though I still have a ton on my dresser right now. It's kind
yeah.
of sad. I used to have going back to my 10-inch stuff. I have that Grogu one, and I also used to have uh, D0 or whatever the little green roller wheel robot was from Rise of
Oh, Dio.
Skywalker. Yeah, Dio. I used to have that one, and I wanted to get rid of it. One because it never had a very good like value for Funko Pops and whatever, and I got it for extremely cheap, and it only went
Mhm.
down from there. So it's like I don't even know what the point of it is because I don't like the character. There's like nothing interesting about him. Uh,
Yeah.
there's there's nothing about him that is cool, and he's from a movie that I don't like. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I can
What's
see
the
that.
stack in front of your bed, Garrett?
Oh, that I assume. Um,
Yeah, I think so.
that is some stuff that needs to go back to the library and 4 seasons of 30 Rock
Hmm.
that I
I've
haven't
never
ripped
seen
yet.
30 Rock.
I haven't either, but I found them all for cheap at Half Price Books and was like, I'll rip
Yeah.
them and put them on the media server and then sell them back to Half Price Books because I don't need them after they've been ripped.
That is fair. I always get whenever I hear someone talking about that show, I always get that mixed up with Third Rock from the Sun, which I believe had William Shatner or something like that in it. Is that right?
I think
William
it did,
Shatner?
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
funny show. I used to watch that all the time when I was younger.
I remember my first paycheck I ever got from my first job. This was the first thing I ever purchased with it.
Nice. Gotta love the Punisher.
They had one more left. I had been in my local Walgreens and was like, holy crap, this Punisher's dope. I want it. And then after I got my first paycheck, I went straight over to Walgreens and I bought it.
Nice. That is a great purchase.
100%. That's
Yep.
probably, if I ever had to part with any part of my action figure collection at any point, that Punisher would stay with me for the rest of my life. But I
Sweet.
don't plan on parting with anything, no matter what Hope says. She says, you could get rid of all your stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not. You think you
Yeah.
can
I
make me,
mean,
but you can't.
I said that for the longest time about my Funko Pops. Like it was like I had a Han Solo one from Solo, which I kind of like the movie, but it's not a very interesting design. One because it's not like you know Harrison Ford Han Solo,
Yeah.
but I got it for like actually it was supposed to be off the shelf. They said like you got it for free because it's not really supposed to be on the shelf and whatnot. I was like, oh cool. So I was like, I'm gonna keep this forever just because I have that memory. And then I sold it off because it just really was just taking up space on my shelf. So yeah.
And I get that mindset too. Like, I'm sure at some point I'll be like, you know what? A lot of my Funko Pops now have been moved into storage. They're sitting in my closet in their boxes because the action figures took up too much space and I needed more shelf space. So at some point, I'll
Yeah.
probably be like, you know what? I don't need 60 to 70% of this stuff and I'll get rid of it. But
Yeah.
that's for future me's problem when future me has a house.
Yeah. Uh, anyways, yeah, we've been trying to wrap this up for about a half hour at this point, so I guess
This
we
is the part
can.
that you don't see in all of my YouTube videos. Like I spend like 30 minutes trying to wrap things up.
Yeah, kind of the
I
same
just
thing with
cut
all
it
my
down.
videos. Yep.
I just like cut it down and it's like, wow, 30 minutes went down to 2 minutes because I said nothing in that amount of time. But that's the stuff that you
Yep.
don't see. That's a behind the scenes magic.
Mm-hmm. And I guess since it's
Ooh.
been 20 minutes, go find him LegoLover117 on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook. And any upcoming videos?
Well, we just
Give the
launched
plug. Yeah.
Kipper the Dog home media reviews over on the channel. It's a 15-week miniseries spinoff of the ever so popular home media reviews. So the second episode of that is supposed to air this Monday. It's on the release Pig's Present and Other Stories. And then so on and so forth for the next 12, 13 weeks. We'll be going through that entire show.
Awesome.
I've also got a vlog coming out this Thursday. It's of my trip to Illinois we took back in October 2023. It's Bucked Out 2023, featuring creators that some people may know: Crimson 2091, Percy Number 6, Thomas Wooden Railway, William Politeski, Percy 6 Miles, Ronnie Edward the Great 248, thinks his username now. Just Master of the Lemons, just a whole bunch of great people I met up with back in Illinois. And I'm so excited for this year's Bucked Out, y'all. It's gonna be great. Um, we do that every year. It's so fun to get to see everybody.
Yeah, I those vlogs are awesome to watch every year, so I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. And I used to post Thomas and Friends related videos on my second channel because my YouTube name used to be Movies and Train Studios, and everybody says, "Why did you change your name?" It's just because there was nothing to do. One, there was like literally nothing that had to do with trains on my channel anymore, and two, because it just rolls off the tongue a little bit better, honestly, and also because I wanted to
Yeah, I
have
think
my
so.
name. I wanted to have my name out there a little bit more, but yeah, it would be really awesome to join you guys because I'm just a state away. But yeah, it just seems like a really fun time, of course. So yeah,
It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it every year.
that is awesome. But yeah, I guess we'll finally head on out of here after 37 minutes of trying to wrap up. But yep. All right. In terms of stuff for me coming soon, probably because I haven't done it yet. Probably my ranking for the Kung Fu Panda movies. I saw the fourth one, and I haven't talked about it here on the channel, so I guess I'll just do that at some point soon. Probably Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, some sort of like related content to Ghostbusters because I saw that just this morning.
We'll probably
Yeah,
be
be on
seeing
the
that on Tuesday of this week.
nice. It was a good time. Not as good as Afterlife, but it was solid.
All right.
Just a lot going on in it, and it's kind of weird. It felt like an hour into the movie that nothing happened because there were so many plots going on at once that none of them had time to breathe. So yeah. Yeah. So just be on the lookout for those videos, and of course go subscribe to Garrett's channel and check out his upcoming videos. The Kipper series is great so far. It's off to a good start.
Thank you.
And
I'm
then
very
whenever yeah.
I'm excited to get the rest of that out. It's crazy as a 24-year-old dude to actually be like enjoying a show made for children, but
Kipper is a good one. I used to watch that one when I was younger a lot. So actually, it was just whatever episodes were included on like bonus episodes or bonus DVDs of Thomas and Friends and whatnot. So like bonus
yeah.
episodes, special features. But yeah, um, yeah. So yeah, go check out that, and then be on the lookout for whenever he does Home Media Reviews season 6, right?
Yep, season 6.
All right,
I
awesome.
can't I can't say when it's coming out yet because that's a spoiler, but
Mm-hmm.
probably around summertime
Be on the
is when
lookout for that for sure. Then
that'll show up. We got some great picks, got some great stuff coming.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. And coming into the last second, Savage Gamer 1998.
What's up, Savage Gamer?
What is good? So yeah, thank you for everyone who tuned in, and of course, thank you to Garrett for joining in for the live show. And
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.
yeah, very welcome to, or very glad to have you on the channel, of course. So yeah, thank you for joining in the chat if you did. All sorts of people in here today. So yeah, and we'll see you on the flip side, I guess.
Get you guys on the flippity flip.
And he says, sorry for coming in the last minute. Yep. All right. Later.